Beatdowns running playback. Shout out to Airman Sally, the young guard to all the G's like us. Yeah, we go hard. See, this is how we feel to be a champion. We might fall down, but we never run. You wouldn't need it if you knew what we overcome. Do you know all the but they ain't stopping nothing. Me and my girls on top, straight stunting. And we abide by a real strict code. Hands off my ex and homies over.
If you try to shut us down, we'll show you just how we get down. And just to even up the score, we're coming kicking down your door.
We play our way.
Don't have to be me.
Do work all day.
We don't see defeat.
Can we fly that? Can we buy that? We even run a full court, make it stack. Shout out to Maya Moore, the young guard, to all the girls like us. Yeah, we go hard. See, this is how it feel to be a champion. We might fall down, but we never run. So proud of that we overcome. Do you know we gotta overcome? We bow down to none. I wanna hail out all my day ones. Time really does fly when you're having fun, but the party don't stop till we staring down the sun.
If you try to shut us down, we'll show you just how we get down. And just to even up the score, we're coming kicking down your door. If you try to shut us down, we'll show you just how we get down. And just to even.
There are men, and there are giants. Bass and stills in the building, flash the camera. I'ma drop the hammer. Things done changed in hip-hop since I let Bobby out the slammer. Hip-hop start on the East Coast and then move west down to Bama. I'ma bring it back to New York. Hold on, then throw your hands up. Pass me a cup with in the club with the juice in the bent out. Then I'ma slide with it to my ride and head up to my penthouse. Oh, I'm not trying to take it slow. Working hard, cake and dough. Open up 24. We striving for that goal.
I'll stop for nothing. I will play this game that's so easily started, not so easily parted. Giants, everything is shaking through the walls. 'Cause we are giants. Heart of David, you know it takes just one. It's time.
CNN, this is Ghetto Editorial. See me like milk and Oreos. Dipped inside the audio. Platinum plaques in my portfolio. My lines are finest. They blow your mind like you could do what you wanna do. Whether group or solo. Boston cold with a bowl of chili. Summer cheesesteak on the roll in Philly. I'm a patriot, don't do a hatred. If you make that beef, I'll smack you silly. Back on up on this. Before you with this, you better walk jumping off the building up. Yes, oh, got the heat up the show. Face up thermometer. I'm gonna take full control. Hey, Paul, let him know.
I'll stop for nothing. I will play this game that's so easily started, not so easily parted. Giants, everything is shaking through the walls. 'Cause we are giants.
Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Happy New Year, everybody. In today's late season matchup, we have two teams who have victory on their minds. It's the Jaguars going up against the Texans. So for the call of this week's 17 matchup, let's send it out to our broadcast team, Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
All right, thanks, Larry. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the heart of Texas at NRG Stadium in Houston. Tonight, it's the 512th and final game of the regular season, and we've got a good one between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Houston Texans. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass.
All right, here we go. 3-19. Let's go. 56. 3-19. 56. 3-19.
They'll throw on first down with Osweiler. And his throw is incomplete. Offensive starters here. Wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins, a talented wide receiver.
And he's still looking for that ultimate recognition. He wants to be mentioned with the best receivers in the game. His numbers suggest that we should do so.
So 2nd and 10 here. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. Now a first carry for Lamar Miller. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. And we take you through the starting defense for Jacksonville.
When at his best, Orlando Scandrick is one of the top nickel cornerbacks in the NFL.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive.
Now let's go.
And he motions the wide receiver.
Green, 39. Back 99, Philly. Here we go. Detroit.
On 3rd down, Osweiler. He's got time. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he's brought down after a good gain. That goes for a gain of 31.
We just saw him hit a big play there on a deep post. And most of the time, the post isn't available because usually you have defenders in the middle of the field. But if you throw enough curls and crossing routes and underneath routes, I know from experience, they get tired of watching those balls get caught. They start to creep up a little bit, and that's when you can hit them big over the top.
Back 99, Philly. Here we go.
On 1st down, Osweiler. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Now he'll got a man. It's caught inside the 10. These coaches told us they wanted to take the top off this defense. They wanted to be able to stretch them downfield. They showed it pretty well there.
And they knew that if they were able to do that, it would open up everything else. But how did they truly get it done? Practice in the previous week, making sure they had a plan, fine-tuned before they put into effect in the game.
They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to...
Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. C.O. Moore able to use that strength and get him for a loss of 2. Can this defense get the stop on the opening drive? Here's 3rd and goal.
Here we go now.
Manziel setting up the screen for Miller. No gain at all on the play there, and that brings up 4th.
I know you got a baseball background, right?
A little bit. Started minor league ball.
Yeah, you did some of that, right? What do they do when they do the signals? An indicator, right?
Tells you whether it goes or not, yeah.
Yeah, whether the play's on or not. How about the indicators offensive linemen give when they're getting ready to run a screen pass? And if those get red, well, we just saw that there, didn't we?
No gain.
No gain. Deciphered it and finished the play off.
So they get the ball first here in front of the home crowd under the lights, and they get 3 points out of it.
And there's something about a night game, isn't there? A little extra snap, a little extra crisp in the air. What a terrific way to get things started. A little extra excitement, a little extra dazzle for the home crowd.
They go play action here on 1st down. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done.
All right, say it with me now. There are a lot of different words we can come up with. Maybe we go back and forth after that play, getting his toes tapped down to make that catch. Crafty.
Yep.
Wiley. Oh, definitely.
All the veteran names.
You name it. Has every move in the book. and continued to get better throughout his career so he can make that type of a catch.
And for this offensive unit that we'll see here in just a second, T.J. Yeldon is certainly someone to mention.
Came out of Alabama with a lot of attention, but earned it. This guy is better and better at a lighter weight. Shifty back who can finish with power.
On second down, here's Bortles. To the right side here, the tight end Thomas. To give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Now a play fake here on first down. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. And now out comes Houston. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done. That's a nice catch, but unable to stay in bounds. And remember, it wasn't a wide receiver who works on that all the time.
I was going to say, he likes to get the ball handed to him. Now, don't get me wrong, he's part of the passing game as well, but maybe a little out of his comfort zone there.
Yeah, he might want to have a few words to say to us about that later, but I am still going with you on that one. Wide receivers work on a little bit more.
And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Miller. Looking to find a lane, but he can't rein in at the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Dante Fowler just made a play that he could be really proud of there. Nice tackle for loss, and what a relief it is for him to be back on an NFL field after missing his entire rookie season with a knee injury.
I think the entire defensive unit is relieved that he's out there. They'll come out in the pistol.
3-19. Watch it now, Barney. Barney. Watch it now, Barney. Barney.
Now Manziel. And this will complete to Will Fuller. And he's brought down. And give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. And he'll work his way inside the 30 now to the 28. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Here we go now. Green 30.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's brought down. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. And that led to a really nice game.
Give him 3 on the play, and it'll be a 2nd down. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. They face a 2nd and 7 to start things out. Shift together here from the D-line. On 2nd down, here's Miller. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a first.
No, that wasn't an explosive run. That wasn't one that took it all the way to the house. But, boy, for a team that's had trouble running it the entire game, that's the kind of run they need, hopefully, to get themselves kick-started.
Again, we'll see the pistol here. On third down, Miller. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It's a pickup of 3, but it brings up what will be an interesting 4th and 1.
One thing that I observed when Dante Fowler was coming out in the NFL draft, how hard he played the game. Every time I turned on a tape, he was either rushing the passer, making a play, or making a play in space against a ball downfield, or hustling from one sideline to the other. How about that play right there? Making a nice tackle, holding it to a short gain.
So that scores now on their first 2 possessions, but it's 6-0. Probably not the kind of scores they were hoping for.
No, not at all, but I think that they've shown that they can have some success against this defense. So they'll go back to the sideline knowing the points are going to be there for the taking.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game. And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players. Somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
His throw incomplete. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
Let's give some credit to the defensive guys on that play. Able to bat that one away. Sure looked like they were trying to hit the corner route.
Defense looking to hold serve one last time here on 3rd and 7. Throwing his Bortles on 3rd down. And this is caught by Jackson. And he's got the first down yardage there as he takes it just across midfield.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Partner, we're into the 2nd quarter, and I guess you can kind of look at it both ways. The offense, they've got to figure out what they're going to do because they haven't scored any points. But if you're the defense, you're feeling great about what you got going on. The only concern you have, if you get to the half, what adjustments will the offense make to try to defeat you?
Bortles to throw on 2nd down. And the hook up here to Allen Robinson. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback that has to slide and find open space to throw.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And now the passing game here in the 2nd quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it, now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Two minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. Ooh, long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field. They'll give Yeldon another crack. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. T.J. Yeldon, touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Jaguars are an extra point away from taking the lead. And he's got it up and through. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. And now out comes Houston. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the three-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
So it'll be first down here after the run. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Another pistol look here. Now Osweiler surveying the field. Underneath for Miller. Give him 22 on that one. And that'll be good for a Houston first.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
And he'll be out of bounds, able to take this one down to the 20-yard line.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game. Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Now a handoff looking right. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 4 yards on the play, and that leads to the first and goal.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
So the chain gang now done for the drive. Ball on the 10, first and goal. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Texans have retaken the lead.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Are you looking forward?
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Offense comes to the line now, first and 10. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. To throw, it's Bortles. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. He was trying to find Deshaun Jackson that time. And it's second down.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
Offense still needing 10 yards. Second down. They go play action for Yeldon. Now it's Bortles. Green's got it over the middle. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. A really good pickup of 28 yards. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback and his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged, because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Bortles now on first down. Got his man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. Deshaun Jackson in the final seconds of the first half. And his guys are an extra point away now from taking the lead. And this one through the uprights and good. Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
They'll let their receiver run it out of the Wildcat. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. So we've reached halftime here on New Year's Eve as we send you over to our headquarters in Orlando, where we check in with Larry Ridley for our EA Sports Halftime Report. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
See if they do just that. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. A first down carry now for Yeldon. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
You know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. On 2nd down, here's Bortles. And that's caught. Did he stay in bounds, though? He did not. Ruled incomplete. Close there. He caught it, just wasn't able to stay in bounds.
And that's where the sideline, it was used as a 12th defender. You know, 11's legal. This one is an imaginary one that my college coach used to call Sammy Sideline. Sammy Sideline can protect you at times, and in this case, that's exactly what he did for the defenders.
Here's Bortles to throw. Looking again for Thomas, this time complete. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately, They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Now Bortles throwing on second down. Over the middle, it's Thomas. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically. But a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get inside the 40 to maybe the 38-yard line. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Bortles to throw on second down. Right side caught by Jackson. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. They'll come out in the pistol. After the penalty, it's Yeldon. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. And quickly, they get to the line. We've become so accustomed to it, you sort of take it for granted.
You really do, but he is so good that every team in his division, every year, is trying to make sure they draft people charged with trying to block J.J. Watt. So far, hasn't been too successful.
And the 8th play on this drive coming up.
Here we go now. Go.
Working from the gun, it's Bortles. Trying to get it to Jackson, and it's intercepted. A big seam, and he might go all the way. The 40, 20, 10, 5, and they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD. Charles, we've seen them target one of their main weapons time and time again. Maybe they went to that well too many times there.
Yeah, and it's so difficult to determine how many times is too many because how many times have we seen a team go and play and say, until they stop us, we'll keep going. Well, they got stopped on that one, and it cost them 6 points.
And no, it falls incomplete. So the 2-point conversion, no good. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6, obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So the last one didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too. Okay, what can't Deshaun Jackson do? All right, we know about the catches. We just saw another one there. Also gets involved in the return game, and he can break big plays like that. We've seen him do it throughout his NFL.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
They go play action here on first down. Deep drop. Great protection. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And here comes the Texans now. And not great starting field position here for the offense. They come out here in the eye. At after the interception. Here's Osweiler. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it. Trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Again on 2nd and 10 now. It's Osweiler. And he's got it over the middle. Fedorowicz. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
So the D-line's going to spread out. On first down, Osweiler. Looking for Perriman, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Deshaun Gibson. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read. Better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
To throw is Bortles. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
Yeldon, the lone running back. Now Bortles. And oh, this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. It'll be a gain of 9, and it'll be 4th down.
What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They
don't
get that little extra tagginess to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They come up in an offset eye. They'll try and run with a fullback, Johnson. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27.
One of the hallmarks of their success this year, they've been fearless on 4th down. And they convert another one right here to move the chains.
Again, we'll see the pistol here. Now Bortles. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Bortles will try again on second down. Looking again for Thomas, this time complete. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. Yeldon, the lone running back. And they'll give it to him here. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. T.J. Yeldon, his second TD of the game and 16th on the season. And the Jaguars have moved out in front here in the fourth quarter. Bortles is going to throw for it. His pass caught at the 4. And he will get into the end zone again. And he seems to have a nose for it as he gets both the touchdown and the two-point conversion. Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. He was looking to get it to his running back, Lamar Miller. And now it's second down. Second down here after the incomplete pass. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Second and 10, it's Osweiler again. And he's got Fuller. And he's brought down. 15 yards there on the catch and run.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run.
Hurry up, here we go.
A first down carry now for Miller. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
On second down, here's Osweiler. He's going to rifle, and this will be caught at the 30. Touchdown, Houston. Rashad Perriman, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Texans have taken the lead here in the fourth quarter. And I think I saw that right. You tell me if I'm wrong. That was just a fly route, just to go. He went.
Sometimes speed, just pure speed, is going to win. I don't care how athletic you are on the other side of the ball. When a guy's that fast and he can just take off, if a quarterback has time to throw the ball and release it when he wants to, that's the end result. Nothing you can do about that. He was just a better athlete on that play.
Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they've got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent. But you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone.
Second down following the run. Now we give to the first man through, and that's Johnson. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. Bortles now to throw. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Well, they tried to swing it on left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. On second down, here's Bortles. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
And let's see what the defensive coordinator may have up his sleeve here to try to get this final last stand and win this football game. They'll try to run for it with Yeldon. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain.
Now Bortles, got to have this one. And this is caught by Jackson. And he's brought down after a good gain. Give him 25 yards on the play there. And on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks. Another pistol look here. Bortles going to give to Yeldon. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And they're going to speed things up here. Now Bortles throwing on 2nd down. Time for a break. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down. 8th play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down. They'll look to throw. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he will have the 1st down before he's tackled at the 12. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times. Because he can...
Now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And a really long drive here, and it goes on and on. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. He's back to throw. This will be caught at about the 3. And now the Texans want to call another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. And Bortles going to sneak it and give them 2 yards there as they're set up now with a 1st and goal.
Well, they pick it up on 3rd and 1 on the quarterback sneak, and that's not easily done because there are extra bodies in there on the defensive side, and they're moving forward at the snap.
Yeah, I was certainly expecting a handoff, weren't you?
Yeah, I totally was. I thought they'd go.
And he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. T.J. Yeldon with touchdown number 3 here in this game, and 17 now on the year. And the Jaguars have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. And now out comes Houston. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So Tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time,
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. Back to throw. It's complete to Fuller. And he goes out of bounds across the 40-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
He'll look to throw. Underneath for Miller. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield across the 45. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are. You know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
Out of the pistol look, it's Miller. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. They're going to hurry back to the line now.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have...
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. A long way to go for the offense here on 3rd down. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Back to throw. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Prince Amukamara. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line. Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. The clock cannot be stopped here. Defense can't do anything. So kneel it down, take it home.
No doubt about it. It's what you practice for in winning situations each and every week. Victory formation. Take a knee and go on into the locker room and celebrate.
Call it a victory. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. So long, everybody.